Hey guys, today's video is really going to be more for recruiting professionals and HR, but it will give candidates some closure as to maybe why you got ghosted or maybe why you weren't picked. And the answer is absolutely yes. So for recruiters out there, we focus often on what the job requires and what the hiring manager is looking for and the soft skills needed to be successful. But we also need to be sure that we're focusing on the non-technical skills, the EI skills, that frankly would be devastating if the person has a high competency or a high area in those spots. When I do corporate trainings, I always focus on this. And what I'm talking about is let's talk about a job where somebody has too much motivation. How is that possible? How is it possible to have someone that's really excited and great and excited to be somewhere and does a great job? How can they be too motivated for a job? Well, let me ask you. If you look at their resume and you see they get promoted every 6, 12, or 18, or maybe every 2 years, and you know that this job is a 3 to 4 year job, you're probably hiring someone that's going to quit in 6 months or 12 months once they figure it out. We need to be aware that sometimes people who are too motivated aren't the right fit for our culture or this position because their expectations might not be in line with the reality of the way things are going to transpire once they get in our doors. Or maybe we hire somebody and we need to ask them questions about problem solving. Now, maybe the job doesn't require problem solving, so you would never actually ask them any problem solving questions. And you wouldn't actually ask them, when is the last problem you really had to solve? Or what is the time that you had 2 different competing deadlines and you had to pick between which one? Maybe we don't ask those questions because this job is a data analyst job and it doesn't matter. But maybe we should. Because maybe if we asked that question, we would find out that they really thrive in a problem-solving environment. They really do their best work when they're up against a deadline, and they can really shine when they have to fix something for a client. But in this job, that problem-solving ability is going to go dormant, which means they're going to get frustrated, they're going to get bored, and they're going to move on. The last thing I'll say is stress tolerance. Again, maybe this individual really works great in a stressful environment where there's deadlines to meet and things are shifting and dynamic, but maybe this job is a very routine job where Monday through Fridays are pretty much the same and there's not much stress. We need to ask questions about that. We need to make sure that when we're hiring somebody, that we don't actually just see what they have, but we also see where they do best in to make sure that this job is going to support them in that manner. So if you're a candidate and you think you had a phenomenal interview with a company, you think you did great and you answered all the questions really well, but then they never called you back or you didn't move forward, maybe, just maybe, you were too good in certain areas that weren't relevant to the job and they figured out, which is important, that you weren't going to stick around once you're hired. I think the biggest challenge that we as recruiters and HR people make is that we're so concerned with our hiring numbers that we stop focusing on what's important, which is our retention numbers. I don't care what you're doing. If you're hiring 100 people a month, but you're letting go 90 people every 2 months, you're not doing it right. I'd much rather you hire 50 people every month and keep them all than be hiring double the numbers, because at the end of the day, we're just dogs chasing our tail. We're not actually solving any problems and making the company better. So, make sure that when you're hiring people and you're recruiting people, you're actually focusing on not just the skills needed, but you're also focusing on the skills that they shouldn't have to be successful in this job. And then you're matching them up with your culture. Don't just focus on the technical abilities needed. Don't just focus on the non-technical abilities needed. Focus on the ones that are polar opposite to what the position requires. As always, hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying safe. Be checking out videos on LinkedIn and YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Hired How to Get the Job, if you want to see more videos like this. And I hope I can help show you how to get the job. I'll see you next time. Bye.